Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel English Language and Literature. Today our topic is figures of speech. A figure of speech is a word or phrase that is used in a non-literal way to create an effect. This effect may be rhetorical as in the deliberated arrangement of words to achieve something poetic, or imagery as in the use of language to suggest a visual picture or make an idea more vivid. Overall, figures of speech function as a literary devices because of their expressive use of language. Words are used in the other ways than their literal meanings or typical manner of application. Figures of speech are also known as literary devices which are used to beautify the language. Now let's talk about the types of figures of speech. The term figure of speech covers a wide range of literary devices, techniques, and other forms of figurative language, a few of which from we are discussing in this lecture. Number first figure of speech that we are going to discuss is simile. Simile is a figure of speech in which two dissimilar things are compared to each other using the term like and is. Here are examples of simile. She is as pretty as picture. Here we used simile because we compare one thing to another thing with the help of words like and as. Number second example that I am going to tell you is he is strong like an ox. Here we also compare one thing to the other thing with the help of word like. Number second figure of speech is metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two different things without the use of the term like and as. As you know that in simile we compare one thing to another but with the help of words like and as. But in metaphor we don't use these words like and as, we compare one thing to another directly. Here are some examples of metaphor that I am going to tell you. Number one is he is a fish out of water. Here we compare fish to water but without the using words like and as. Number second example is he is a star in the sky. Here we also use metaphor because we compare one thing to another but we do not use words like and as. We directly compare one thing to another thing. Number third figure of speech is personification. Personification is a figure of speech that attributes human characteristics to something that is not human, or treating like human beings with non-living things. In personification, we act with non-living things as they are human. Here are some examples that I am going to tell you about personification are the water danced across my window. Here we use the personification because we compare the water as a human thing. We act as a water is a human thing, but in reality it is not a human and he cannot dance. That's where we use the here personification. Number second example is the moon is smiling at me. In reality, moon cannot smile, but we give it a characteristic of a human that is known as personification. Number fourth figure of speech is conceit. Much like a builder with a hammer, writers use different tools to set the tone or mood of a piece. A conceit is one such device popular in Renaissance literature. A conceit is a cross between a metaphor and or a simile. Like a metaphor, a conceit makes a comparison, but the objects are very dissimilar. This genius wordplay could make you think about something in a new way. Conceits usually demand your attention because the comparison seems so far-fetched. Here is an example of conceit. A broken heart is like a damaged clock. The difference between a broken heart and damaged clock is conventional, but once we think about it, we can see the connection among them. Number fifth figure of speech is allusion. An allusion is a figure of speech that references a person, place, thing, or event. Each of these concepts can be real or imaginary, and referring to anything from fiction or history, events, and religious manuscripts. Here is an example of allusion. A woman might say to her husband, "Thanks, Romeo," after he is offered some type of romantic gesture. Traditionally, Romeo from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, is looked upon as one of the most romantic fictional characters in history. In this example, the wife would have succeeded in telling her husband he is wonderful simply by alluding to this fictional romantic man. So friends, these were the some figures of speech that we studied in this lecture, and there are so many figures of speech in literature. We will discuss them in another lecture.